So yesterday, I was supposed to bring you 3 videos. One of them was supposed to pertain to Julio Jones, and we did make that video. The other was supposed to be a video on Deshaun Watson missing OTAs, which we were able to make. And then at that point, when I was supposed to bring you this video, the Aaron Rodgers update, I ran out of gas. And I apologize. I know I had these expectations. I really like getting you guys info as soon as it comes out, but I just burnt out and I didn't want to make a bad video. So before we get to the content, I just want to remind you guys that I'm giving away a pair of Apple AirPod Maxes to anyone that just follows me on Instagram. I'm getting a lot of DMs asking what else do I have to do to enter the giveaway. The answer is just follow me on Instagram. That's it. In addition to that, if you could take a moment to sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm to help promote this channel, as our buddy Roger Goodell likes to claim my content, and on occasion my content gets demonetized. And when your content gets demonetized, since YouTube can't make ad revenue from the content, they won't push it out to a larger audience, which is really what matters to me the most. So if you could just leave a like, you will be contributing in this video getting sent out to more people. And now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So this Aaron Rodgers news, believe it or not, I know it's going to sound very similar to other Aaron Rodgers videos that I've made, but it's extremely significant because this is the first time that we are actually getting news that validates the whole situation. Before, there was an element of he said, she said. You know, at first we hear that Adam Schefter comes out during the NFL draft and says,
Aaron Rodgers has told certain members of the organization that he does not want to return to the Green Bay Packers. And this is an issue that has gone on throughout the course of the offseason, so much so that each of the Packers' main individual decision makers, the president, Mark Murphy, the head coach, Matt LaFleur, the general manager, Brian Gutekunst, have each taken trips out west to go meet with Aaron Rodgers, to fly out and meet with him to see if they could change his mind and convince him to come back to Green Bay, which he does not want to do at this point in time. But to date, Aaron Rodgers has not budged. And so we have a standoff here that nobody knows exactly where it's going. And thus, the 49ers called the Green Bay Packers last night, and the Packers said, we're not trading him. And
then after that, we think Aaron Rodgers might get traded for the number 3 pick in the NFL draft by the San Francisco 49ers. Then we hear in the middle of the draft that he might get traded to the Denver Broncos, and that's why Denver didn't take Justin Fields and selected Patrick Surtain and screwed over my Dallas Cowboys. It's okay, Micah, I still like you. At the time, we thought this was all due to a contract dispute, but Jay Glazer told us that it might not be over a contract dispute. We heard that Aaron Rodgers is very upset over the Jordan Love pick, but if he was that upset about the Jordan Love pick, then why wouldn't he have complained about it last year? Then we did some further research and noticed that, hey, this man was giving us cryptic messages last year.
You know, based on, just the circumstances around everything, you look at, just look at the facts. They traded up, they drafted him. I would say they like him, they want to play him, but look, I get it. I see it completely clearly, and I'm not bitter about it. It just kind of is what it is.
He was saying that, unfortunately, he doesn't know if he's going to finish his career as a Green Bay Packer last year. And do you think we're done? Because, boy, we are not done. Right when we thought things were getting as crazy as it could be, Adam Schefter drops this bombshell on us.
Hours from now, where Adam Schefter came on SportsCenter and said basically that Aaron Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay. Walk me through that. Did you get a phone call or text?
Dan, the funny part about it is that I've heard people say, Aaron Rodgers wanted that out before the draft. Mm-hmm. I can assure you Aaron Rodgers did not want that out before the draft. I've had people say the Green Bay Packers planted that. It was a very pro-Packer story.
Yeah.
I can assure you the Green Bay Packers didn't plant that. When people guess at where stories come from, more often than not, they're usually wrong. And in this case, they're wrong. This was an accumulation all during the offseason of just listening to people talk and observing. And if we go back to the NFC Championship game that the Green Bay Packers lost at home, did we not hear Aaron Rodgers after that game talk about his level of unhappiness, if you will, uncertainty for the future, Just go back and listen to that press conference, and it sounds almost like he's saying goodbye to Green Bay. And so your antenna's up, and I'm just telling you, throughout the course of the offseason, there was rarely a week that went by where I didn't hear something about Aaron Rodgers. And on draft day, there's a report that morning from Paul Allen out in Minneapolis that the 49ers made a draft offer, which they didn't make an offer. They never made an offer. And other people are saying that the 49ers called. And I said, how long till it gets out that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay? Is it next week? Is it next when he doesn't show to the OTAs? Is it next month when he isn't? It's going to come out. What does it matter if it comes out now or next week or next month? And so
you chose to break the news on draft day.
That is absolutely accurate. Correct.
Now, do you know what's crazy about what Adam Schefter is saying here? He actually went on NFL Live before the Green Bay Packers faced off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship and said this.
Schefter, how should we be viewing Aaron's future in Green Bay right now?
Listen, when he's playing at the level he is, there's nothing to view. He's there. He's the quarterback. You're going to move on from a quarterback who's the best player in the league right now, who's playing at an MVP level, who maybe never has played better than he has at this particular point in time. So, again, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to wonder about. They drafted Jordan Love, but they've got an NFC Championship game here on Sunday. He's trying to build on the legacy that he's already created in Green Bay. Why is his future even a topic right now? Like, what's the idea of that?
Because I find it tough to picture that Aaron Rodgers is going to sit there and say, oh, sure, you guys drafted my replacement. I'm going to just play as long as as you guys continue to want me here, and then figure out my future when you decide that I've served my purpose.
Well, it's well said. As a wordsmith, a man who used to work in newspapers for 16 years, I wish I could have crafted a story, come up with words as nice as Aaron Rodgers. So he can play quarterback better than me. He can come up with words better than me. I'm insulted. I'm quitting. That's it. I'm done.
Fair enough.
So now we're sitting here thinking, wow, Adam Schefter had all this information and decided to withhold it from us, and he just happened to drop it on draft day. He had no new sources come forward during draft day. It's just this information he just decided to drop on draft day despite knowing that Aaron Rodgers was frustrated with the Green Bay Packers. And it starts getting bizarre because now we are all sitting here starting to question, okay, is Adam Schefter even a legitimate source anymore? What's going on here? So as a result, this entire situation is so bizarre that one of the reasons why Aaron Rodgers is frustrated apparently is because the Green Bay Packers cut his favorite wide receiver, which happens to be a borderline practice squad player by the name of Jake Kumaro. So any story that involves us questioning the legitimacy of our sources, even myself questioning the legitimacy of this entire story, is fairly significant and honestly a gigantic mystery, which is why OTAs are so important here, because during OTAs, you could really tell how committed a player is to a franchise. OTAs are pretty much the official time where a team could say, oh, wow, this player isn't happy. We should try to see what we can do in order to make him happy. So Aaron Rodgers didn't show up to OTAs. As a matter of fact, he was in Hawaii during the time. He did an interview with Mayne last night, which I guess is kind of like the bright spot in me not dropping this video yesterday because new information has come out ever since. And even furthermore, there is a parallel that could be drawn to a player that won a Super Bowl this year, and Aaron Rodgers is actually exhibiting a lot of that same behavior. So check this out. Last night, Aaron Rodgers confirmed to Mayne, and by the way, shout out to Mayne, this was his final interview, that he indeed did not show up to OTAs. And he provided a rationale why, saying that
It never been about the draft picking Jordan. I love Jordan. He's a great kid. You know, he a lot of fun to work together. I love the coaching staff. Love my teammates. You know, I love the fan base in Green Bay. It's incredible 16 years. It's just kind of about a philosophy, you know, and maybe forgetting that it is about the people that make the thing go. It's about character. It's about culture. It's about
doing things the right way.
This is more than just him not being happy in Green Bay. He has a fundamental issue with how the Green Bay Packers are running their organization, which I guess makes sense because there was this one report saying that Aaron Rodgers would rather retire than play on the Green Bay Packers while their general manager, Brian Gutekunst, was still the general manager. So I believe we all owe Adam Schefter an apology because this validates everything that he said. This came out of Aaron Rodgers' mouth. Now, here's what's really interesting about this situation. While he was missing OTAs, this was a rumor that we heard a couple weeks ago, and it was kind of reiterated here. This is according to Tyler Dunn of Go Long. And apparently, Aaron Rodgers told some opposing players that he wanted to leave the Green Bay Packers and even asked if they would be interested in joining him somewhere else, which really sounds familiar if you think about it. Who's the last player that wore number 12 that was disgruntled with the only franchise that he's ever played for, that tried recruiting his old buddies to potentially make a move elsewhere and play with him this upcoming season? Well, Tom Brady. And if you pay attention to what happened with Tom Brady, it's a no-brainer, and it makes a lot of sense why Aaron Rodgers would want one Tom Brady has. You see, Tom Brady had the same type of situation in New England, although it wasn't really as much under a microscope because the Patriots were winning, but there were occasional articles about the dysfunction going on in that organization, which honestly I think is just as a result of the same head coach and the same quarterback playing with each other for 2 decades. It was only a matter of time before these two got sick of each other, especially given the longevity of Tom Brady. And towards the tail end, you could tell that Tom Brady really wanted more control over the offense. Bill Belichick was leaning more towards a ground game and a defensive-heavy attack, which is what won them the Super Bowl against the Los Angeles Rams. But if you paid attention, Tom Brady was barely a factor in that Super Bowl, even though they won. Brady still felt like he had the ability to play like a MVP, which I am assuming that Bill Belichick kind of scoffed at based off of the way the teams were constructed around him. Now, Tom Brady, in my opinion, and this could be a controversial take, as is Bill Belichick, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were that perfect situation. They had a remarkable pass rush and a very stout defense. Bruce Arians was a proven and a capable offensive mind. They had a remarkable wide receiver core, and on top of that, the Buccaneers gave Tom Brady free reign to do anything he wanted. As a matter of fact, Tom Brady wanted them to trade for Rob Gronkowski as well. They gladly did it. Tom Brady wanted Leonard Fournette, and he got it. Tom Brady wanted Antonio Brown in the middle of the season. Even though Coach Bruce Arians was against it, they still sided with Tom Brady over Bruce. As a matter of fact, even though Tom Brady wasn't a fit in Bruce Arians' scheme because Bruce Arians doesn't like using pre-snap motion, Brady literally said, "Hey, I need pre-snap motion to succeed here," and Bruce Arians changed his offense to fit Tom Brady. And as a result, they won a Super Bowl together. And subsequently, you see players like Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying that we want more control over personnel decisions. Russell Wilson was at the Super Bowl watching Tom Brady win live, and he was lamenting the fact that the Seattle Seahawks didn't let himself cook as much. Deshaun Watson was in a situation where he's condemned to mediocrity for at least the next 2 to 3 years, and he wanted at least to have a say in the direction of the franchise. Now you have Aaron Rodgers, who pretty much, in my opinion, had a similar career to Tom Brady, although he wasn't placed in as great of a situation as Tom Brady. Brady had Belichick, who actually constructed remarkable rosters around him, game planned perfectly, and although they got into it with each other, the combination of that, Tom Brady taking pay cuts, and the culture that was established in New England resulted in them winning multiple Super Bowls. A lot of times, it takes more than just a remarkable quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It takes multiple things clicking, like a good quarterback, a head coach that knows what he is doing, and a capable defense as well. And to be honest, this isn't me saying one quarterback is better than the other, but despite Aaron Rodgers being similar or close to Tom Brady in talent level, he has never been placed in those situations to succeed. As a matter of fact, his best situation was probably 2 years ago when he finally got the head coach that he felt like would match him properly. But At the same time, even though he got a good head coach to coach him, there were other things that his team was lacking. For example, they were missing on a lot of their draft picks. Their defense has never been quite the same ever since that Super Bowl run in 2010, and they haven't really done a good job getting Aaron Rodgers weapons. And right when they had the perfect opportunity to get Rodgers a weapon, they elected to trade up to select a quarterback in a wide receiver heavy draft. So the rumor of Aaron Rodgers trying to recruit players together to potentially form a super team on another team makes a lot of sense to me, but I don't think it's going to happen this year because Tom Brady made his power move at the beginning of NFL free agency last year. At this point, it's a little too late. Unless if Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the Denver Broncos last second, I really don't see him entering this season on a different team. But needless to say, when you put yourself in Aaron Rodgers' shoes, it makes sense as to why he would feel the way he does. So with that being said, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this entire situation. And also, if you want to discuss this with me further, make sure you check us out on Discord. A link to that's in the description down below. And aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.